Hey, what's going on? I'm Brandon Bain.
Hey, I'm Dan Foulds, and this is Rubbin' and Grubbin', where we talk about racing
and tasting.
There it is. Hey, thanks so much, guys. If you're tuning in to us tonight, we're really glad you're here with us. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter. Lawrence just fired up a Twitter channel. It's Rubbin' and Grubbin' for Twitter, and we have a YouTube channel. And of course, thanks to Coach's Corner, the center of the universe, for letting us do this show here for you. So, big news. We are going to welcome ESPN Savannah Hilton Head 104.3 FM and 1400 AM, the radio audience, for tuning into the Facebook Live show. We're honored to follow 3 and Out, which is their show, BJ, Ben, and Kevin. Y'all do a great job. We will try not to let you guys down. We'd also like to give a special thanks to PJ Zuko and the folks at ESPN Coastal Georgia for giving us this opportunity. PJ, we hope you can join our broadcast soon. Sit right here. We'll go 3 wide. Thanks again for teaming up with us. Big. How cool is that we're with ESPN?
Man, it's really neat. You know, kind of kept it under wraps last week knowing about it, but excited, man. I think it's going to be really good. Obviously, it's the biggest show in town right now. There's nothing else on live sport-wise to compete with.
Yep.
It's probably going to change in the near future, but man, I'm stoked. I'm ready, man.
Me too.
I think it's great.
Me too. Hey, before we break down last Sunday's race, let's talk about tonight's race. 311 miles. Stages?
Yeah, I mean...
60, 120, 228. It's been moved up to...
6 o'clock start time. So.
They're about to fire up their engines.
Any second.
If it's not raining, I'm not sure if that's a... we've got the Jumbotron going behind us. I'm not sure if that's a rain delay previous race or if they're getting ready to go. Hey, Big, who's your 5 top drivers for tonight?
Well, I mean... Obviously, after watching this race, it's going to be a totally different race. But it's going to be the usual suspects for me, man. I don't think Harvick's going to win this one like he did on Sunday. I honestly don't. But we'll run it down real quick. I'm going to go Kyle Busch for the win tonight. Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick. We'll take Brad Keselowski rounding out the top 5, and then a dark horse to look out for is I'm going to say William Byron. Let's do that this week.
Okay.
Wrecked out early, had a really fast race car.
Yep.
So it's going to be exciting to see if this kid can tame the track. Too tough to tame, man. Let's see if he can get a finish. So
I know you are. I am so freaking stoked to have real live racing.
Oh yeah, man.
I mean, it was wow.
I tell you what.
By the way, I called Harvick to win that race.
Yeah, I took him to win the race, man. So
yeah, you won the game of skill.
Yeah, yes, we did.
Yeah, you did.
So my wife begged to differ because that was her pick. So she said that she won. So I said, yes, ma'am, you did. But
so we've predicted the winner in 4 races this year.
Yeah, so far so good, man. I mean, we're on it a little bit. I mean, obviously, whenever you see a guy that starts streaking, Joey Logano, Alex Bowman got one, Ryan Blaney was hot at the beginning of the season. When you see that momentum start to build, obviously Harvick, only driver to finish in the top 10 of all the races up to Sunday's race. That's momentum, man. That means, you got your program together. You might not be winning every single race, but you're definitely a contender. So
since Harvick won and he's racing the same car,
yeah,
what will they change on that car?
They're definitely probably going, I would say, they're going to loosen that car up a little bit, I would think. Now with the rain, I don't know how hard it rained there yesterday, how much rubber got washed off, is it back green? But cooler track temperatures obviously is going to make the speeds go higher.
Hey, tell me again what loose means.
Okay, so loose is...
When they loosen it up?
Yeah, loose is basically...
The back end's going to come out?
Yeah, when you're turning the car to set the car in the corner, the back end wants to swing around.
Okay.
Yeah, tight is when... Tight is when you...
Turn the wheel, it don't go.
It's not turning.
Right.
The front end's,
Which on a circular track will scare the stuff out of you, right?
So if it maintained rubber, if it still has rubber on it,
right.
Which I expected to have a lot more rubber, but the Xfinity race got moved.
Okay.
I'm going to say it's going to start out a little looser than what it did. Obviously, as this race goes on, it's going to even get more. So they're probably going to be tightening up. Yes, looser. Okay. Yeah, you're going to be on top of the rubber eventually in this track, depending on how much rinsed out from the rain that they received.
So when they're racing a race and the rubber goes from the tire onto the track,
yeah,
how long does that rubber stay there?
It stays embedded in that for a while. You hear guys talk about getting into the marbles. What they say, what the marbles is balls of rubber
Yes.
that from the heat of the tires and it being on the track, it grounds up and it rolls up into balls. Well, what it does, it washes usually to the outside of the track. And when you get in the marbles, you get too high, you're in a bunch of loose marble,
Like
rubber
gravel.
marbles,
Like
right?
little gravel.
Like gravel in some bits.
And you go like,
correct. Under cool down laps, you see guys going back and forth, swinging around back and forth. They're cleaning tires because as you're running the speed and then you stop and you slow down, you start picking that stuff up on your tires. So when you see them go
why
back
they
and forth,
do the
right,
left and the right.
They're scrubbing them off, man. They're trying to get them as clean as possible.
Look at that.
Yeah.
How about that?
So, but we'll see. It's going to be a totally different ball game tonight as it was on Sunday. I expect a different winner. Is it very possible that Kevin Harvick could go back-to-back? It is, but it's very difficult to do. I can't remember a time I've ever seen it done in this short a time frame.
Yeah.
Is he going to be a contender? Yeah, I expect him to be top 5 all night. Top 5, top 7 all night. So.
Super. Okay, well, we got that out of the way because there's supposed to be a race tonight. I see guys.
Ryan Preece putting them on.
They're putting their clothes on, and if you needed an example of how different stuff is, that dude's sitting by himself in his car putting his clothes on.
Hey, man.
But they got it done. Okay, Sunday's action. We were here at Coach's, the center of the universe. And we had the pleasure of watching live NASCAR racing right here at the center of the universe, Coach's Corner.
And it was great.
It was great. It was fantastic.
I even made it by, man. I didn't think I was going to get to stop by. I came by, said, hey to you guys, watched, I think, the whole first stage, and then we left and got back to the house. And, I watched it from there on out, man. I don't miss a lap. So.
71 days.
Yeah, it was pretty, 71 days
71
of
NASCAR's back.
For NASCAR.
Oh, my gosh. Huge ratings. 6.3 million people tuned in.
Yeah.
Most of them tuned in right here. No, just kidding. Up from Phoenix, which had 4.5 million. Tonight's primetime race should get huge ratings, too.
Yeah.
Speaking of being back, how about Hendricks Motorsports?
I'm a huge Hendrick fan. I'm a Gordon fan. Chase Elliott, William Byron fan. Man, I tell you what, after watching them struggle for, I'm going to say over the past couple years, I really think this year, man, Hendrick as a Chevy team's got it. They found a little something. If you notice, Ford's running really good, Chevy's running really good, Toyota's slacking a little bit. With the talent that Toyota has, it's not going to last as long as what Chevy did, I don't think.
Yeah.
But it's great, man. I love it. Like I said, I hated to see Byron out early. Bowman had a rocket ship. Chase Elliott got up there and contended up there for a little bit, drove his way, race to race. Jimmy, we'll get to that later on the show. I don't even talk about that right now. But, man, they're back, man. I mean, they're definitely have always been a powerhouse, always will be a powerhouse.
So we had a little bet going about crashing in the first corner.
Yeah, we did.
It didn't happen.
No. Thank you, sir.
Well, I figured they'd crash in the first corner, and they didn't. They got to the second corner.
That's it. Well, damn, they made it to the damn second corner, man. So, hey, there we go.
They got to the second corner. So, 6 teams were fined for failing post-race inspection.
Yeah.
What happened?
Not surprising, man. I mean, obviously, everybody's rusty. You had, like you alluded to earlier, 71 days off. Stuff happens, man. I mean, I know a couple loose lug nuts, post-race inspection, this, that, too low, too high, whatever it is. I mean, it happens.
Do you think it was willful or just?
No, I don't think so. I mean, they deal with this week in and week out. If you go back and look at the results after every week, whether it's a normal season ran the way it is or not, there's usually 3 to 5 teams that get an infraction. This is nothing new. This is pushing a boundary or air pressures and tires being lower than what you expect them to be at the end of the race. And when you measure, I mean, they're within 1/100,000th of an inch. If you fail and you're 1/1000th of an inch out of ride height or a fender or this, I mean, that's it. You're penalized. And we're talking, you're talking a frog hair, man.
Yeah. So teach me something here. Say Harvick's car had failed inspection.
Yeah.
How big of a deal would it have been for him to have his win taken away from him?
You went back and go, okay, well, is it a win taken away or is it
Because they'll do that now. They'll take a win away.
They changed the rule, I think last year or the year before, so he's going to lose all those points.
And Harvick did not cheat, and this is me educating myself.
But he's going to lose those points that he gained during that race, and he's going to get a 40th place finish.
If he was found
illegal.
Did not. But
if it was I'm going to say a major infraction, a loose lug nut, You're not going to get that. You're going to get a fine. You're going to get whatever. It's going to take a serious infraction to do that. They did it at Logano a couple years ago, 2-3 years ago. Okay. But that's why they changed the rule. And I think it's very clear cut, and I think it's very deserving. I mean, if you found illegal after the race, whether it be ride height, whether it be whatever it may be.
I saw one thing where the back window would push in.
Yes, correct. That was a deal last year that they ran into.
So it changed the aerodynamics of the car, right?
Mandated, right? They got that figured out. But
okay,
like I say, I think it's justified, man. I mean, if you're illegal, you're illegal. Whether it's your fault or not,
right?
You're illegal, man. And I mean, winning 50 races, I mean, you know, they know better. They've been together a long time. They know better.
So how do you think it worked to only have 15 guys to service the car?
For Harvick, it worked great. I'm sure you saw it. I mean, one of the baddest pit crews on pit road. I mean, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Hendrick Motorsports all together. They have some badass pit crew members. All right. I mean, these guys are awesome. They train year round like they're pro athletes, man. They train to do this. But Harvick smoked it, dude. One, having that first pit stall on pit road helped out tremendously. Okay. But they smoked it, dude. Never a mistake, never a hang, never.
First one in or first one out?
First one out.
Okay.
So it's the last stop on pit road. Last pit stall on pit road, closest to the marker that crosses you and scores you. So that's the advantage of being there.
Okay.
And like I said, didn't falter all day. So
sweet. So Greg Ives, who was Alex Bowman's crew chief, he was getting down out of his pit box and rolling tires to his guys because they just didn't have as many warm bodies, right?
Don't have enough guys there or whatever. Hey, man, everybody's got to chip in, get in where you fit in, man. I think you did a great job. I think it's awesome to see the guy that sits on top of the box is down here doing whatever's necessary to get it done. Get it done. You said,
just exactly like the way we roll right here at Coach's Corner.
That's it.
In Thunderbolt, Georgia, the center of the universe. When we had a hurricane here and the people couldn't come to work, Lawrence Bennett behind the camera and Dan Foulds and Brian McCarthy were in the kitchen cooking a limited menu, and we do the same stuff. You get out there and get it done.
That's it.
You get that job done. So Matt Kenseth was in the 42 car. He's 48 years old. He hasn't been in a car in a year and a half. How did he do?
Dude, amazing. Way better than what I expected. I promise you that. I don't think Kyle Larson himself could have drove that car any better than what Kenseth did. It's going to be interesting to see, man. Like I said, he's championship eligible. They reset that. He's championship eligible. He's down in points right now, but another good run tonight he's going to jump, man. Veteran driver, champion of the sport, a year and some change off to come back and get in this car as much as it's changed in almost 2 years and place 11th, top 15. Come on, dude. He's awesome, man. That shows you the talent the guy had his whole career, man.
And how about our man, Ryan Newman? Back in the race.
Yeah, good to see that. Proud to see that. Happy to see that, man. I mean, I know before...
Number 6 car, great race.
Before the race started out, I know he was talking, hey, I feel like a walking miracle. And in all reality, he probably really is. And it's just great for the fans, great for his fans, great for his family, great for the sport. Not to lose another life in the racing. For a guy to come back, and it worked out with the pandemic. It played out into his hand to where he had the time off to recover. And,
that's a good point,
Not a bad run, man. I mean, ran good, had a little bit of an issue right there towards the end of the race, but all in all, it's probably a pretty good day, man.
So I've been reading a lot of stuff about it, and one writer commented that it felt very weird going up to the race, and it felt very weird after the race was over. But for the 3 hours and 37 minutes,
it felt great.
That those guys, about had to drop $1, that those dudes were going around that track, it was boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys. It was spectacular. Heck yeah. Now, Harvick said that Victory Lane felt weird, and he really wasn't sure what to do, but he pulled it off.
He did.
There was a couple of camera guys. There's no crowd.
Great. I mean, did 2 burnouts, man. Did great. You have to look at this as none of these drivers have ever experienced a fanless race. So obviously the excitement and joy of, hey, he dominated the race, led 200-something laps of this race. I mean, dominated it, gets his 50th win in his career, which is a huge milestone. A lot of guys never even come close to 50.
Right.
All right. A lot of guys never even reach there. So to win it the first one back out of the gates, show the dominance, show the strength. Of course you want to get out of that car, and of course you want 50,000
jump up and
people.
down.
Right,
yeah.
you want 50,000, you know?
Well,
but you don't have it.
You had
them 6.5 watch.
Mr. Harvick, 6.3 million people saw you win the race.
and he alluded to that. So I thought it was great. He handled himself very well, and you know what a better martyr for the sport at this day and age. One of the older guys, you know, that has paid his dues, paid his roots, made his name to win that race. I thought it was absolutely great, man.
Spectacular. Hey, I found a video today. It's called Radioactive. It's on YouTube, and it's a thing NASCAR does. And I was trying to figure out why they call it radioactive. It's because it's the radio traffic from the spotters to the drivers. Correct. It's about 5 or 6 minutes, and man, is that interesting, and wow, is that informative.
Very, very entertaining.
And what that taught me was that this is not just the driver.
No.
And we just talked about the pit crew, how the pit crew is studly and fast and able to do stuff, and that's what makes a winning team. That spotter up on that wall, he's kind of like the choreographer.
Right.
You know, the driver's the talent that maneuvers the car, but that spotter's saying, do this, do that, speed up, slow down.
Correct.
And then, of course, there's the crew chief who's on the box. He's watching it, right?
Right.
And he's chiming in, too.
He's the one changing the car. I mean, it's like I say, I alluded to, if you look at any football team, college or pro, all right, and you look at a NASCAR team, you got a head coach, an OC, a DC, you got teammates, a star quarterback, you have all this.
Yeah.
So in relation to football, your crew chief is going to be your coach. This is the guy that sees things that are going on in the game and says, well, you know what, I got to change this, or I got to change that, or I need to do this or do that more.
Right.
The OC is going to be your spotter. This is the guy that's up in the booth calling the plays, saying,
offensive coordinator.
This is what I see, you know.
Right.
This is what's going on.
Right.
Your crew is going to be your team, and your driver is your star quarterback, man. It's all the same. This is not just, hey, we get in the car, I'm a driver, I can do this all on my own. I don't care how good you are. At certain tracks, certain places, blind spots, going 100, 200 miles an hour, come on, dude, you got to have help. So that's how I try to bring it into relation with people who are like, NASCAR is just you get in, you drive, you turn left, and it's done. But there's a lot more.
And the driver in his Hans device with his protection, he really can't turn his head.
No, you got mirrors. I mean, you've got however many mirrors. Talladega, they obviously put more mirrors in the car. Some guys do, some guys don't. But you have mirrors that you check, and these guys are professional athletes. They do this for a living. These guys are very, very, very good at what they do.
The spotter helps him with situational awareness.
Oh, situational awareness. I mean, reminders. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Hey, you're clear here, clear there. I mean,
you're doing a great job.
Instead of taking your eyes off of where you're going or where you're headed, why not have a guy in your ear that says you're good on the bottom, you're good up top, 1 back, 2 back, 3 back. This, obviously, when you're in the lead of a race, like Harvick was, and you have a guy like Bowman, let's say he's catching you.
What does 1 back mean?
1 car length. 2 car lengths, 3 car lengths, 1 back.
Somebody's 1 back behind me?
Let's say somebody's 1 back from the leader. You know, a guy's calling you for the next spot. If you're in 9th, 10th, 20th, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Hey, he's 1 back, a length and a half back. He's a car and a half back. But what this does, it allows you not to have to look back in your mirrors. You know, this guy's telling you that
you're talking to me, and I've got the
correct.
I've
got the trust in you that I'm going to turn this car, and he's not going to be there. So not only that, they're relaying lap times. They're going, hey, you just ran a 29.9. Second place, or the guy behind you just ran a 29.87. Okay. That tells you, okay, well, he just gained, on me.
Sure.
Okay, the gap's getting closer. So much information is relayed through your spotter.
So once again, that's Radioactive. If you're watching this and you're interested in NASCAR and you want to learn more about it like I do, check out Radioactive on YouTube. They're little short videos, but boy, are they entertaining.
Yeah, very interesting.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. Darlington Raceway edition. The good. NASCAR gets it. They called this race the Real Heroes 400 to honor America's frontline workers. Drivers taped the names of frontline workers on their cars. Doctors, nurses, cashiers at the grocery store, truck drivers who brought the groceries to the store. By the grace of God, the people that took the beer to the shop and go, right?
That's it.
Those people kept America sort of like normal. And NASCAR honored that. And I'm just going to say cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers to that.
Cheers to that. The bad. Jimmy Johnson wrecked the number 48 a few hundred yards from winning stage 2. Yeah. And he had a fast car. Is he going to win a race this year?
I definitely think and feel in my heart that Jimmy Johnson will win a race this year. Alluding to that, I felt extremely bad for him, man. That was a rookie mistake. I know a lot of people blame Chris Buescher for checking up and this and that, but at the end of the day, last lap of stage 1, no pressure from behind. You're 2-3 car lengths ahead of the guy behind you.
Yeah.
All you had to do was just lift a little bit, and you never would have ran in the back, never would have wrecked, would have won the stage, would have been a full day.
So Johnson needed to let off the gas.
Johnson made the mistake.
Okay.
Point blank period, 100%. That's all there is to that. I hope somebody wants to argue about it. I'd love that. But at the end of the day, a 7-time champion that won 80-something races made a mistake.
And he's been 100 now without winning one.
Yeah. But I think he's going to. A lot of people forget Earnhardt went 100-plus races without winning a race.
You know, as I got closer and closer to the end of my flying medical helicopter career, I got more conservative.
Oh, yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised.
No, it happens to every...
This is his last year. He can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, let me tell you,
he's probably thinking, like, I don't need to go out here and kill myself now.
Every single driver, when they start progressing in their career and they're getting older, when you take a 25-year-old Jeff Gordon and you take a 38-year-old Jeff Gordon, two totally different guys.
Because when you're young,
the
dumb, and full of...
25-year-old guy, you have... that's right. You have
you're going to live forever.
No fear, right? You have no fear.
You're
going to put that car in positions that you normally would not. You're going to... I don't care if you're clear or not. You'll knock the nose off. You'll knock somebody's rear end off. It doesn't matter. A win's a win.
Right.
When you start getting older in your career, you're like, well, I've done all this. What more do I have? But it's the hunger... When you see in these older guys like Harvick, like a Matt Kenseth, like these guys that are still doing it, the hunger's still there.
They're old professionals.
Right, but it's the question of, will I do what the young guys do? And I give mad respect to Alec Bowman on Sunday because there again, he had a shot maybe to clear Harvick. Now, he might have knocked the front fender, he might have brushed the rear, it might have caused both of them to wreck, but he didn't get aggressive. He took second, got second, didn't clear, said, hey, whatever.
Yep.
Is what it is, man. So I give mad respect to him as well. But yeah, it's definitely something to pay attention to, man.
The ugly Kyle Busch in the number 18 car failed pre-race inspection twice, and he had to start from the rear. It's tough to move up and pass drivers on the track, too tough to tame. And what's that old saying? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Sorry, we're also participating in a game of skill here.
Yeah, I got to do that. That's important too, man. Just
so
to
what
let
do you think
y'all
about
know,
what do you think about Busch?
I took the 11 right there.
What do you think about Kyle Busch?
Oh man, I think Kyle Busch at the end of the day, when this sport, when his career is all said and done, if you do not label that man the greatest of all time, it's probably going to be a slack. Now I say that as a non-fan. As a non-fan.
Okay.
Obviously, his championship numbers are not going to equal that of Petty, Earnhardt, Jimmy Johnson. Probably not even Jeff Gordon. Probably won't even get 4. Probably maybe not even Tony Stewart. But at the end of the day, when you look at what this kid has done from day one when he stepped in to what he's still doing today, it's dominance.
Yes.
This kid has won 200-plus races. By the end of his career, I expect him to win 300-plus races. And people are going to go, well, it was trucks, it was Xfinity, it wasn't all this. Let's keep it real for a minute. Richard Petty in his day raced 3-4 times a week.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
All those wins were counted in his 200.
Yes.
So why is it such a bad thing to take an Xfinity win, a truck win, and a Monster Cup Series wins, add them together and say, this is my career.
Right.
This is my career.
That makes sense to me.
It makes sense to me.
A win's a win.
That guy, I can tell you in Xfinity and in Truck Series, you never bet against Kyle Busch. And you know I have a theory when we do this here that I say, if I draw the 1 and I have an opportunity to take the 18, not a fan, not my favorite driver, I'm going to take the 18 because that kid gives you a shot to win every single week, no matter what.
Spectacular. Checkered flag for charity. Kevin Harvick in the number 4 car won. That's win number 50 for Mr. Harvick.
Yep.
He won at Darlington, so that's another $4 to the Ronald McDonald House.
Yes, sir.
But listen, $4, that's not good enough. So we're tossing in another, I'm throwing in 5 because I don't have change.
Now I'm going to throw in my our bet from last week on the wreck. First corner didn't happen. I want it. I'm going to throw that in the bucket as well.
So we're just putting money in this bucket because what we're trying to do is support the Ronald McDonald House right here in Savannah, Georgia. It is right over next to Memorial Hospital. It is the place that a family of a child who is in that hospital can go stay for free.
Yeah.
And as we've said many times, if you got a kid in the hospital, last thing you want to be worried about is where am I staying? So we're up to $498 so far.
Not too bad.
We're
man.
on track
Not
to
too
go
bad.
over 1,600 by season's end. And look here, come to Coach's. Get a daggum delicious lunch or a spectacular dinner or some super wings for your next social event. And while you're here, say, hey, I want to throw in $5 or $10 for the Ronald McDonald House charity, Rubbin' and Grubbin' guys. Please do that. We would really appreciate it.
That'd be awesome. Like I say all the time, pennies, nickels, dimes, 10s, 20s, 100s, 50s, doesn't matter, man. Anything you are able to spare, anything that you can donate, come and donate, give back. It's a really good feeling for yourself.
It
on
is.
top of the fact you're doing something for a very, very, really good cause. So
I think by the end of this season, I'm going to have that down. Pennies, nickels, dimes.
that's it.
I'm going to
Pennies,
have it
nickels,
down.
dimes, 10s,
Come on,
20s,
dude.
30s,
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. wrecked on turn 2 during the first lap. Ricky Wreckhouse. We almost called that during last week's show, but we said the wreck would happen on turn 1, which
You
was
guys
my
did.
bet.
And surprisingly so, this is the ugly fact about it. The ugly fact about it is this is a guy who went into Busch Series and had a lot of talent. Xfinity.
Yep.
Had a lot of talent. Got a ride with Roush, man. At the time was a pretty good ride to get. Talent's about hit its end. I'm sure Jack Roush is about hit his end. Obviously, he's for Doherty Racing now.
Yeah.
I can tell you, man, not saying anything bad about the man. He could probably go out there and drive a car better than anybody, but come on, dude, you're a pro. You didn't even make one lap before you hit the wall. You didn't make one lap as a professional.
that 71 days got to him.
71 days or something, man. I mean, damn.
Now,
damn.
did he win the 500 Stenhouse?
No.
What's the big? I've seen him.
He always runs pretty good at restrictor place. Obviously, Roush has really fast cars. He's very aggressive. He makes a lot of moves. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to put it together week to week. It's not about going to.
Can you remember the last big race that Ricky Stenhouse won?
No, I think it was in 17 or 18. I think he won one of the restrictor plate races.
Okay.
Daytona, July, maybe. Ran good. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, to be honest with you. But
Okay,
I
no
think it
worries.
was somewhere around there.
Hey, if you know the answer to that question,
Yeah,
and that's a
let us know.
trivia question, go ahead and drop a comment, and we'll give you a shout. We'll get your answer, and we're going to give you a
That's
shout
it.
next week.
That's it.
What big race did Ricky Stenhouse or Ricky Wreckhouse last win? Our side bets. Brandon got $5 from each of us because we said the first wreck and caution will be on 1. Big said under 10 laps. Great job, Big. Cheers segment.
Yep, let me get one because I'm dead empty. There it is. There we go.
I love it when you do that. That's Lawrence Bennett behind the camera, by the way. The brains of the show. Cheers segment. It's a cheers to the original Raceway Grill. Cheers. This is a little bar right outside of Turn 2 at Darlington in South Carolina. It has a real NASCAR Cup car up on the roof of it. And
Love
it's
it.
been open for, check it out, 70 years.
Love it, man.
Just like Darlington,
Right,
right?
love it.
It's been open for 70 years. It's never missed a race day. They have a huge parking lot and RV parking, and you know what they did? They put up socially distanced tables so that fans could go there and sit in that parking lot, drink cold beers, and hear the roar of that
awesome,
race.
Man, that's awesome.
Good job.
Hey, with that
Good
being
job.
said, I also do want to add to our cheers segment. We're going to cheers again. I'm not sure if it was yesterday or today, but it is Tony Stewart's birthday. So here's a big shout out to my buddy Andy who informed me of this today. And shout out,
Andy.
A shout out to Smoke himself.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday, Smoke.
Happy birthday. Outstanding. Now, if you can't go to the racetrack and you want to watch the race, I'm going to tell you, if you're not there, the best place to watch a NASCAR race is right here at Coach's Corner.
Center of the universe.
The center of the universe, that's right. We've got the Jumbotron over here going behind us. We've got about 1 million screens in this joint. We've got a PA system out back. When they say turn it up, we turn it up. You can be safe, you can be socially distanced, you can be outdoors, and you can watch the race and just feel that whole, it's a tailgate feeling.
It is,
It's
man.
like you're tailgating. It's
It
like
is,
you're
man.
at the party, and you can do that right here at Coach's Corner.
And it was cool last Sunday. Like I said, when I came in, I mean, I saw quite a few NASCAR fans. Period.
Yep.
Sitting down, watching watching the race at different tables, older, younger. I mean, it was awesome, man. I love that.
I think this has been good for NASCAR.
Yeah, I love it, man.
So we had a mailbag question last week about the iRacing drivers not carrying their momentum into real racing.
Right.
And Brandon Big didn't think they would. Pardon me, but we got some feedback. Music123, thank you, sir, or ma'am, reminded us that John Hunter Nemechek finished 9th Sunday at Darlington.
Yeah, pretty good run for him, man. I think that was awesome. It's a pretty good run. I think that they played it right, ran a very clean race. Some people had trouble. They did not. Drove himself up there by all means. And like I said, I think that's a kid that has a lot of talent. And for that car, that is a great finish. But I say it time and time again, you did it once. Let's do it 20 more times for the rest of the season, right?
Be reliable. So Kim, who is Lawrence's wife, LB's wife, she took offense when I told the story about my lieutenant colonel at Darlington saying NASCAR is nothing but a non-athletic sport centered around rednecks. So Kim got the ass about that. Sorry about that. So what she did was she put out a race day spread. She had champagne munchies. She had Kevin Harvick Havarti. She had Jeff Gordon goat cheese, Denny Hamlin salmon, Clint Boyer cheese ball, just to name a few things. We're going to get those pictures up there. And Kim, what we want you to do is bring that stuff here. Bring that stuff here. Mailbag question.
Adam just wrote in.
Okay, well,
Adam just wrote in.
Adam just wrote in.
Live comment.
2017 Daytona.
2017 Daytona 500.
Ricky Stenhouse.
For
I
Ricky
wasn't
Stenhouse.
too far.
Hey, Adam,
I knew it was in
thank
a
you
couple
so
years
much.
there.
I knew
Appreciate
I'd
that,
seen that kid on TV.
Yeah, I knew it was. I think it was pretty sure it was what, July race, right? Yeah, there we go.
Thank you, Adam, very much. Okay, from Rick Roll, mailbag. How many laps will Kyle Busch run in the races at Charlotte?
From what I've read, he's going to run every single one. Which would, if he completes every lap of that run,
yes,
that's going to be 1,400 laps in 4 days.
That boy's going to have a sore
Now,
rear
if
end.
I'm going to put a number on it, and quote me on this, I'll put a number on it. Let's say I think Kyle Busch completes 1,282 laps. I think that he has some misfortune in maybe one of the Cup races or the Xfinity race. He's not going to complete the whole race, but that's my number.
I got 1,300 for $5.
1,300 for $5. You got a deal, sir.
All right.
I got 14.
There you go. Lawrence says he does it all,
$1,400
which wouldn't surprise me one bit, because like I said, alluded to earlier, the kid is a absolutely phenomenal talent.
Looking ahead to Charlotte this Sunday at 6 p.m. The Beast from the East. Break it down, Big.
Yeah, man. It's going to be an awesome race. Like I said, there again, this race has qualifying Saturday. It's the normal Coca-Cola 600. It's 4-stage long. It's the longest race of the year, period. This is going to show you what teams have built around themselves to be able to compete with the big dogs.
Yes.
If there is somebody new that is going to step up,
yes,
this is going to be the time to showcase what you can do as a driver, as your team. This is a crown jewel, man. This is something that it doesn't, the 500 something, Talladega something, this and that. This is one you want to say, I endured the heat, I endured the temps, I endured the track, I beat everybody.
I'm a marathon man.
Oh, man. Awesome.
I'm a marathon
Awesome.
man.
I'm going to go ahead and I'll put a little feeler out here now. I do not know if it's going to be the Coca-Cola 600
right,
or if it's going to be that Wednesday race at Charlotte, but I do feel like William Byron might get his first win right here, man.
Willie B, I'm Dan Foulds, and I'm damn proud of you, and I hope you win that race.
So you heard it here first.
Very good. Okay, trucks are back. Xfinity cars are back.
Yeah, man.
Cup cars are back. Are we excited or what?
Oh, man, super stoked.
Hey, you having fun?
Oh, dude, I'm having a blast. As always,
too.
man. Always have a blast.
Brandon, who's your top 5 drivers for Charlotte?
In the 600, I'm going to go ahead and say, it's like I said, there again, there's always that handful of usual suspects. If I'm going to pick one to win the Coca-Cola 600, I'm going to have to go with Kyle Busch. I'm going to take Brad Keselowski second. I'll take Denny Hamlin third, Keselowski fourth. Let's go Truex fifth. And then a dark horse to watch out there at Charlotte. I'm going to say let's go back to, I think I'm going to have to run with Michael McDowell, man, to be honest with you. I think that they haven't showed, that 34 car hasn't shown what it's done in past years yet this year.
Right.
But it's shown that it can run up front with certain things happening, playing pit strategy, doing this, doing that. So we'll round him out as a dark horse, keep an eye on, man. I think it's a decent bet in a fantasy lineup where, you know, you got to spend some money in different places and you got a low budget driver. I think that guy might get you a good finish there, man.
Spectacular. Thank you, sir. So, if you come and watch the race here on Sunday, your first beer is on me. I'm Dan Foulds. I'll be out back. That's a challenge. Hey, listen, thanks fans for watching and being part of the show. Please hit like and share this and ask questions. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. I'm too old to do Twitter, but I'm going to have to learn because we just started a Twitter feed. And our YouTube channel. Well, what's our show called?
Rubbing and grubbing, man.
And what's the grubbing?
Oh, man, I'm ready for it tonight. Tonight we got some ribs that I did before I came
By the
in.
way, we have a special guest tonight bringing the food out.
Yeah.
The brains behind the camera is Lawrence Bennett, and that's
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Bennett, Julius Bennett Jr., and he is the bank behind coaches. So
Yeah,
we're very
he-
glad he's here.
Great man, great friend, awesome
Great
guy.
he's here.
See, I
So
did-
what do we
did-
got? So Big, tell us about
Yeah,
this.
so we did some St. Louis style baby backs, man. I use my seasoning that I do, a little marinade, 24-hour marinade prior. Pretty good rib, man. I can't give out all my secrets. You run them these.
Have you ever won a competition with your cooking?
Let's get this right. I have never won a competition while I've been
You've
cooking.
been in the money.
I've been robbed twice, all right? I can promise you
He's
I've
been in the
robbed
money
twice.
at 2 of my barbecue fundraising
Yes,
competitions.
yes, I have. But
He's been in the money. Hell
Very
yeah.
good, very simple type deal that you do. Can't give out all my secrets, but
Oh my
very,
God.
very good stuff, man. So
Holy crap.
I missed out on this on Atlanta. I usually do this every year down in Atlanta. A buddy of mine, Bubba, me and him always have a rib competition. He cooks, I cook. We swap them up in groups and then let them judge on whose is the best, man.
That
And,
barbecue is jumping off the bone into my mouth, and it's making me smile.
I missed my whole turn 2 crew this year down there in Atlanta, man. All those guys are a lot of fun. I hope that this ends, man, and we get back to normal, and I see y'all next year, if not sooner. But yeah, man, those are my ribs, man. I love cooking them. I love working the smoker, man.
The cool thing about Big's cooking, when he's cooking for competition or for pleasure, is like these guys will pull up with a trailer that's 18 feet long, and it's got generators and freaking ventilators. Big's got a little metal box. It's about
Yeah.
this big and it's about this big, and it's literally no stuff. Got a bullet hole in one side and out the
Yeah,
other,
it does.
right?
It does, man. I've had that thing since I was 17 years old, man. I'm almost 35 now, so 17 years. If I had something that was actually worth money, I wouldn't even know how to cook on it.
So it ain't the size of the cooker,
Oh,
is it?
no, man. I've got to, use a fan to get temp up. I've got to open vents. I've only got 2 racks, so if I'm doing 2 racks of ribs and a butt, I'm sitting here. Everything's got to move. It's all down to the minute to the time, man. And you see me do it.
If you guys remember that we had Randy Palooza here, last year I kind of headed
Yeah.
up a program to raise money for Randy Davis, who is a beloved Savannah figure. He went into renal failure last year. And we had a barbecue contest at a little hole-in-the-wall place over on the Turner's Creek. And Big showed up, and he was in the money with that. And he did a
Yeah,
good job.
I did. I've always finished in the money in every one we did. Yeah, I was the second loser. I didn't get second in that one.
Don't pay any attention to the static
But,
off to your stage
But
right.
no, it was a lot of fun, man. It's always fun. It's always for a good cause, especially of a staple of a community that's been here ever since I can remember. I moved here in '89. Always been there, man. Always been a community guy. Great produce place.
Dude.
So what a better cause, man.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I love you, dude.
Hey, dude, and I was one of the first ones there at what 7:30?
Tulahi Island Community Center. I did a barbecue contest
yeah.
there to raise money to keep
Oh,
that
yeah.
building alive, and then we wanted to keep Randy alive, and Big's there both times, all day
Yeah.
long. When we do fundraising things, he's taking out his money, and he
Yeah.
is spending the money. So
Yeah,
this is
us and the Bain family, Nancy and Bart Bain, obviously, man. Like I said, for a good cause.
Great American
you
family.
You can't take it with you whenever you leave, so you might as well enjoy it while you're here. Big shouts out to them. We always have a good time, man. But yeah, that first barbecue competition, I'm pretty sure I went in as a one-eye barbecue, and Dan looked over and he said, "Well, why do you call it one-eye barbecue?" I said, "Well, hell, by the time it's done cooking, I'm only going to be looking out of one eye." So great
Yep.
times, man. Great people.
Yep.
Awesome time, man.
spectacular. Guys, we hope you've had fun, because as you can tell, we have. Hey, I want to once again thank ESPN Savannah Hilton Head 104.3 FM, 1400 AM radio audience. If you're catching this on Facebook Live, thank you. PJ, thank you.
Yep.
We hope you join us soon. Thanks for teaming up with us.
Yeah, excited. Super stoked, man. I think it's May 31st is going to be the first Sunday morning show from 9 to 10 on that channel, 104.3.
Okay.
You'll be able to hear me and Dan and PJ do our thing. You guys make sure you tune in, watch us, follow us.
It's coming next week.
Next week.
When I say
we
that
boosted
coaches,
it
is
up.
I'm always saying coach is the center of the
Okay.
universe, and I do that because so much for this community happens right here.
Yeah, it does.
Charity events, fundraising
does.
events, great shows in the backyard.
Yeah.
And actually,
awesome.
we're not the only show happening here because there's a gentleman, a guy who actually knows about sports, unlike me, Mr. Carl DeMasi, Sports
Yeah.
Report. He does his show right here at Coach's. He's been doing it here for a while. He's in the family of shows, and the AD Chad Griffin, and they broadcast that live here every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. live on Facebook, ESPN Radio, Savannah Hilton Head. Hey guys, thanks for the shout out, Carl. We appreciate that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Coach, Carl, tune in. Many thanks to our fans at Coach's Corner, the center of the universe. Please hit like and share, and we'll see you next week. Have a great Memorial Day, everybody. Stay safe and
Wash your hands.
So you know what he does now? He leaves the camera on so he can catch.
Oh, I know.
Catch
Catch
the
it afterwards. I know. He's like, oh yeah, we got to put that in there.
Is that camera off?
That was a good
Excellent.
one, man.
Good job.
Yeah, man.
Good job.
Always,
Good job.
always a
Good
pleasure.
job.
Always a pleasure, man. Get over here and see what my wife gave us, because I know who I got, but I don't know what the hell she did.